Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is MeyAroyo and I teach creative people how to sell their art online. I think it was about 2 weeks ago that I posted a post on YouTube asking you, well, if you could ask me one question about print on demand, what would that question be? That post has actually been the main source of the DMs recently on my Instagram message folder, but I wanted to choose several of the questions that you guys commented with, especially questions that had people saying, oh, I want to ask that too, or questions that had a lot of likes, and just pop into this quick video and answer them as much as I can. And we'll also like to encourage you to ask more print on demand questions in the comments of this video, because YouTube now has a cool feature where a content creator can answer questions with a video. So that's like a super cool thing. But if you do that, make sure that the questions are going to be very targeted, because, you know, it's a YouTube short to answer a comment. And I do need those extra details to make sure that my answer is correct. So whether I will answer further questions in a video or just in a comment back to you guys, make sure to be specific with your comments to make things easier. With that said, and with my laptop filled with my prints on it, should really clean my laptop, I am going to start with some of your questions. Okay, so this one is coming from Ontarius Williams. I have a question about print on demand. Huh, nice. Would you say it's good to have just one shop to sell print on demand or multiple shops to sell? I've been thinking about selling clothes on 2 shops online or 1 to make money, but I just want to hear your thoughts about it. Okay, so first of all, my thought would be, if you want to succeed with print on demand, if you want to find your niche and your passion and find something that people like, I think that making money online should be a goal or a target along with something else. So you need to find the reason why you're doing this. And when it comes to the main question of this, of selling in 1 or 2 stores, I can tell you that I'm not limiting myself to 1 or 2 platforms. I do know that my t-shirt designs are far better suited for TeePublic than for Zazzle, and on Zazzle I don't even sell t-shirts. So when I look at it this way, it's all about what kind of products you want to sell, because not all platforms have all products, and every single platform has a different target audience when it comes to the age of the people, where they're buying from, what they're interested in. There was a video, the Zazzle part 2, that compared Zazzle to other marketplaces. And I'm not saying, hey, watch that video so you can sell on Zazzle, but that video had a lot of information about print on demand marketplaces and the general people who shop there, even age groups of people who shop there. And it also contained information on how to do that research yourself, as that research by now could be a little too, I don't know, outdated. So I really recommend watching Zazzle part 2, which compares to other marketplaces, to see if you can have the answer for that. And I also want to ask you, when it comes to what you're selling, not just the product, but what design is on them. Because, for example, let's say I have my TeePublic store where I'm focused on my 10 niches, the 10 topics that I want to put on them. And it's a fairly general store because I'm not marketing it with one place, because again, general topics. However, when it comes to my Zazzle store that I'm building, the self-love journaling, I am going to be very targeted with my marketing, and it's a totally different style. So if you have one niche or one artistic style that you know that you want to take on as a major project, try to put it on its own separate store to do the marketing separately for that. If all you do, by the way, is just create the same t-shirt design that would fit men, women, millennials on quirky little topics, funny designs, maybe put them on multiple platforms just to make sure you reach more audience. And I hope that this answered your question. Next up, Mofida Bell. Is it too late to start listing for the holiday season? Okay, that depends widely on where you're selling and if you're just starting out and what your marketing technique is going to be. Because if you want to sell on Etsy and you're using a supplier from China that takes several weeks to arrive, and Etsy has its own algorithm, and you have nothing in your marketing, and you don't want to do marketing or know how to do marketing, then maybe it is too late, because people won't be able to order something that will arrive to them by the holiday season. However, if you're selling on Merch by Amazon, which I know that they are very quick to deliver their products, as well as on Zazzle, with Zazzle Black in the United States, in UK, and in other countries, making sure that people get their order really fast. Zazzle is relatively fast. I would say it's not too late. I'm also saying it's not too late because I am still uploading designs for Christmas, for example, so it's not too late, but you do need to be more aggressive if you want to start now. If you do listen to what I say, but tell yourself, maybe it is too late, I would like to remind you of two things. The first is that some people shop for Christmas all year long. Some people literally go to a website on February or January to buy for their Christmas ornaments because there is a drop of prices there, or they think there will be a drop of prices. And a lot of people collect things for Christmas all year long. So if you upload Christmas designs now and you might not sell them, maybe you'll sell them in August, the same way that I sold Christmas t-shirts in August from TeePublic that I uploaded last year. The second thing I want to say is the fact that if you are thinking that it's too late for the holiday season and this is something that is embedded in your mind, I think that it will kind of be a bummer for you to design, if I have to be honest. And I think that if you do believe in all your heart that it's too late to design for Christmas, start designing for Easter, start designing for Valentine's Day, which is in February, start designing for International Women's Day, start designing for the New Year's resolution, start designing for things that are happening in January, February, March, and even in April. And that would be a good way for you to maximize your time as well as mindset. Hoping that was helpful. Next up, Glitch Yeti. Love the name, love the black and white photo. How to inspire yourself to create new designs for print on demand when you're in a creative slump. I want to say I've never been in a creative slump because I feel like the majority of my time I am stuck with having too many ideas, which sounds nice, but you actually have to follow through on all of them and you want to do all of them at the same time, which is impossible. But I have been in creative slumps before, and I feel like when I get into a creative slump, usually because I'm doing repetitive work, something that really helps me is to go outside the house, go outside in nature. And I feel like sometimes I would like to write sort of a prompt for me on a piece of paper, whether it's about what do I want to create or what inspires me, and just look at it and then take a 30-minute walk somewhere. Usually for me, it will be in the fields or in the mountains because I'm in a mountain field ski resort in Bulgaria. But for me, the act of walking, and I think also like scientifically, I want to 90% of people say that, no. For me, it really does help to clear my head when you do a different activity. You can also try to create some inspirational board on Pinterest of things that inspire you, or literally look around the house and look at the things that you decided to purchase. You can also try to do something like window shopping. Just go to like a center of some sort, a mall, and really focus on the patterns. I do have 2 videos that I did when we were in Skopje, North Macedonia, and in New Vrasna, Greece, of looking into inspiration from these places. And I do feel that sometimes being thrown into this very different environment from my everyday life really helps me inspire creativity. So if you can, try to walk in nature. If that doesn't help, try to walk to a shopping center. If you can get to a shopping center that is not directly in your area, in your county or whatever, maybe do that. Or even watch sort of vlogs about other countries, try to see a tour in a shopping mall in Canada or in Australia or in Japan. I really do find that personally for me, my biggest inspiration always comes from Southeast Asia or Eastern Europe, which is why in the past 6 years, other than living in Israel, I have been living either in Bulgaria or Romania or in Bangkok, Thailand. So maybe trying to watch videos from these countries, even try to do someone who does a walking tour with their camera in a different country just to clear your mind. And I hope that was helpful. That's kind of what I do. And after the mind clearing session, if I don't have any photos of things that I want to try to recreate, I just open a blank canvas, whether it's on Kittl or on Procreate, and just have my way with it. Just let your mind roll. Music kind of helps. Kind of helps a lot. I don't know why, but Whiter Shade of Pale has been my jam. My inspirational jam in the past few days. I don't know why. I'm going through a phase, I guess. Next up, we have Julia Rebel with, if I choose to sell my art on multiple platforms at one time, should I create different sets of works for different sites, or can I simply upload every work to every platform I'm sorry, it's a bit of a silly question. I'm a noob. And Minanima, I love that name, and Sarah also said that they have the same questions. So I do think, again, relating to the question that was a little bit before that, that you can definitely upload to multiple platforms at the same time. As far as I know, none of the platforms that I'm looking at have any kind of exclusivity thing, so you can upload to multiple platforms. And regarding creating different sets of works for different websites, I do have to tell you that, again, we are talking about the ability of a platform when it comes to the design tool, and we're also talking about the product. So for example, if I'm talking about TeePublic, I will upload a PNG file with transparent background, mostly looking like a t-shirt design, and that file will be on all of the items. But if we're talking about Redbubble, and there have been many videos about this, when I was doing Redbubble, I was using pretty much between 6 and 8 different designs with the same design, because you can manually upload to each one. And when we're talking about Zazzle, oh, it's a whole new world, because there are so many different products that have different dimensions than any other platform, as well as their designer is quite inclusive, I guess, or bigger, because you can literally use it as if it was Canva or Kittl and place the designs next to each other and create a collage from your already existing elements and text. Also taking into account the target audience of each platform and the quality and but again, you can use the same work, but you will have to make customizations and adjustments to them based on the types of products that you want to sell them on and the ability of the platform. So for example, if you wanted to sell t-shirts on Teespring, on Spreadshirt, on Threadless, and on TeePublic, I'm pretty sure that the design process or the uploading process will be fairly similar, and you'll be designing things based on t-shirts. Also, if you're creating patterns, then the pattern creation will be similar, unless you're selling on Society 6, because they don't have the pattern tool, so you have to upload expanded patterns yourself, and again, multiple different sizes. So I feel like this question, for example, I could have been more specific about my answer if I had known what kind of platforms you want to sell on. So Julia, if you're watching this video, if you could comment down below what platforms you're talking about and referring to, as well as the style of art or the types of products you want to sell, and I'll be happy to comment back with a more targeted answer. Same goes to Mina Nima and to Sarah Ainsworth, who also said me too for that question. Next, Linda Meyer wants to know, why do a lot of Etsy sellers say no to using their art on print-on-demand sites? Also, which print-on-demand site has the best customer service? Okay, why do Etsy artists don't want to sell on print-on-demand? I have no idea. I'm guessing we're not talking about people who sell print-on-demand on Etsy, because as far as I know, and I guess my rumors that I hear is that a bunch of people don't want to sell on Etsy because they prefer other print-on-demand websites or their own Shopify stores. So I feel like I am hearing the different aspect of things. I can't say why other people don't want to sell stuff on print-on-demand websites. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, if you put a design on Redbubble and it gets trending, then someone can steal it from you. Yeah, it's the same thing if you put it on Etsy and get trending, or, you know, put it on Instagram. So I don't know if it's about any kind of like intellectual property theft or being afraid to, you know, have copycats. And as for which print-on-demand site has the best customer service, I don't know if I have had dealings with all print-on-demand customer services. I had dealings with Printify, I had dealings with Redbubble. Redbubble was like the easiest customer service ever. Zazzle was super annoying to me. Like when I was emailing them, it was super frustrating. They basically blame me because I used Zazzle.com to make an order and not Zazzle.co.uk, saying that I'm in the EU. So I should have ordered from a British website. And I'm like, if I'm in the EU and I see .com or .co.uk, I will go to the .com because that one is supposed to be easier. And also there was no notification for me as a buyer telling me, hey, there is a different marketplace that is better suited for you. And I kind of got pissed off at that. But other than that, everything else was fantastic. And I feel like I don't really know many places with bad customer service. I do know that Printify has been frustrating for me a little bit, and it's about time for me to make the print-on-demand platforms that I will not be working with, and Printify will be on that list. Spoiler alert. I would love to know, Lind, I just realized it's Lind and not Linda. I would love to know, Lind, if you have more elaborations on the whole thing of Etsy sellers not wanting to put their art on print-on-demand. If you're talking about a physical seller, a physical artist, like someone who makes their paintings, like Kristy, for example, who does her paintings physically, maybe they just don't want to have prints of their artwork because they are selling an original and that's their power angle, even though if I had original paintings that are masterpieces, I would pretty much sell them on print on demand as posters to allow my art to get to anyone. But I would love to see an elaboration in the comment section down below on this question, or if anybody else knows about this rumor, because again, what I keep hearing is people who are experienced with print on demand kind of leaving Etsy. So I guess I'm hearing it the other way around. Moving on to David P. with how do you handle tax on print on demand income? And I hate this question and I love it at the same time, and I'll explain both things. First and foremost, don't ever ask anyone who is not a CPA in your country that you're paying to how to handle taxes of any kind. I mean, think about it. If someone asked me, or a different YouTuber, because I won't answer, if someone asked a different YouTuber how to do print on demand tax, and that YouTuber answers, and that answer is incorrect to that person's country or just incorrect in general, and that person ends up committing tax fraud or violates any kind of federal banking, whatever income law, what is he going to say? A YouTuber made me do it. The thing is that we cannot trust anyone online for these things unless they are familiar with our current situation. I do love this question because you said, how do I handle, like personally to me? So my print on demand income is a part of my general income. My business is currently in Israel, where there are several types of being a freelancer or a company. So my business is a freelancer of a certain type. Plus, I have certain tax points because I am disabled in the country of Israel, and also because there is like an income threshold for different tax brackets. Again, the Israeli structure. Now, with my taxes at the moment, I am doing my taxes yearly. So once a year, I submit all of my income for this year, as well as all of my expenses. And then on the gap between them, which is your actual revenue, that's how much you pay taxes on. That means that, for example, once a month I get a payment from TeePublic, and on that case I issue a receipt from my billing system, from my invoicing system that is connected to my Israeli account. I issue a receipt on that money, and that goes into the income that I've had on that month. And then once a year I need to do adjustments. So far, to be honest, I am not actually paying taxes in Israel. I'm paying health tax, but I'm not actually paying income taxes, because the way that the country works is by having certain tax brackets and amounts that you need to pay, but people can get tax points that are basically amounts of money that is deducted from how much they need to pay based on life situation. So for example, a widower with 2 kids is going to get more tax points than a normal person who's married happily to a living person and doesn't have kids. So those tax points will go into making sure that this family that currently has a single parent with 2 kids is going to have more money. Same goes to people living in certain areas in Israel, and same goes to people who are disabled in the country who gets tax points to pay less taxes. So currently, I don't pay taxes in Israel, and that doesn't mean that I don't pay taxes because I avoid them, but I do everything by the book. I submit my income, I submit my expenses, and the total amount of revenue I made per year, if calculated for tax reasons, my tax points are sufficient to cover it. I don't think it's going to be the same for 2022 because, again, this are yearly taxes. So I literally just did my yearly taxes for 2021. I think like a few weeks ago. I mentioned it in my October goals video. I finally did my taxes. And I might have a different business type when it comes to 2023. And also I might set up my business in Bulgaria. I feel like this was long for no reason, because that information is completely targeted for an Israeli person who is disabled. And as for you, David, I hope that you will find a CPA in your country, an accountant, to help you with this. It is maybe important to note that when I opened up my business in 2015, I have seen about 3 or 4 accountants that completely had no idea what I'm talking about. I was doing affiliate marketing, I was a blogger, and these people had no idea what I was talking about. Like, they had no idea how can Google be your client or something like that. And I've even seen accountants in Israel telling people that they should issue receipts on every Fiverr gig that they're selling on the full amount, which is completely ridiculous because that amount is technically paid to Fiverr, and you should have the tax or the invoice once every time that you withdraw your money, because that's your actual income. It did take me a while to find an accountant that actually knows what affiliate marketing is, that was also able to help me with determining what is a business expense. Because if an accountant doesn't understand your income source, they will never understand what a business expense is, especially when I buy a lot of domains. A lot of domains. I am building up, by the way, to make a video on how much money I spent in 2022 on print on demand and all that thing. And of course, that will be in January because, well, I'm waiting for 2022 to end. I hope that answered your question, David, and I hope that you will see an accountant, and good luck with your print on demand taxes. I hope that you will have to pay taxes because you will have a lot of income. That sounded mean, a lot meaner than I meant. Another question from Shakila Evans: how to market and promote your Zazzle, Redbubble, and Etsy store. And this question has had another thumbs up or something from Anna Powell. I would ask this too. And what is the difference between Teespring, T-Launch, and Redbubble? I'm looking for the least expensive, most automated system for listing, and I love awkward styles, but is it expensive? Thank you, Wendy J, for saying that they should watch my older videos. That was pretty cool, but let me get down to breaking this. Okay, so how to promote any store. I feel like this could be a video on its own, and there has been, for example, a video how to market your Zazzle store, like specifically for Zazzle, and there has been a Pinterest for Redbubble, but I feel like if I had to break it down to something that I can answer within a few minutes, I would have to say like this: what are your products about and who your audience is? Based on that, go and find your audience. Because, for example, if my audience for a certain store are 18-year-old girls, I don't want to say girls, women, young women, the next level after millennial. I don't know which generation we're at now, but the next level after millennials, I would say that if I want to market anything for them, I would pretty much go with TikTok because that's where they are. If I want to market anything for older people, I will try to actually focus my efforts on having a blog or a YouTube channel, something that is very searchable, because they will be searching more just on Google or on Bing or on Yahoo when they want to buy something. So marketing really does come to who is my audience for this topic and where my audience hangs out. If I also have to look at another point of it, it will be, can I market this store generically? Can I market it to one audience? Because if you're on Redbubble and you have a mishmash of designs and you start posting, I don't know, dog mom t-shirts on Instagram and get a bit of a following, I'm pretty sure that those people are going to stop following you once you start with floral patterned shower curtains, which have nothing to do with that. So if we're talking about a platform that allows you to upload a lot of products at the same time, a lot of different products, I would either be very niche down on the topic so I can put it in sort of this one Instagram or one Pinterest account, or I will try to create several Pinterest accounts or blogs or Instagram that are sort of split between home decor and gift ideas for women or stuff like that. Again, I do recommend watching the video on how to market your Zazzle store. There has also been 3 videos in a series of how to market yourself on Instagram as an artist, as a brand, and as a niche. I would recommend watching those, because I feel like I can't just talk right now for 5 hours to be more specific. Because I also do want to be a bit more specific. Shakila, if you're watching this video, please comment down below a specific example. So for example, comment down below, I am selling different floral patterns on Redbubble, or I am selling on Zazzle stationery or wrapping paper. Please comment something like specific that you're doing so I could be able to give you a tangible idea for your marketing. As for Anna Powell, who wrote down what is the difference between Teespring, T-Launch, and Redbubble. Okay, T-Launch I've never tried, so I don't know. Redbubble is a marketplace where people go to buy. Teespring is a print-on-demand marketplace that used to be a marketplace, closed their marketplace, and is now giving you sort of a white label website for you to sell your print-on-demand. There is no traffic coming up onto the Teespring website. You can even put your own domain on it, but it is a nice way to manage your print-on-demand without having to purchase products every time someone purchases them, because that's how print-on-demand with a third party works. Teespring is kind of a cool thing in that sense, even though I heard from several people that their product quality is super inconsistent. By the way, the huge wall tapestry that I had in the background of my last 2 videos is from Teespring, and I do have to say that I like the quality. it's a huge product to design. So for me, that was really cool to see that they can handle something like that within their resolution. When it comes to awkward styles, you say that you love them, but is it expensive? I don't understand the question. They have multiple different products. If what you want to sell is t-shirts and you want to do it on your own Shopify store or your own Etsy store, I wouldn't go with the expensive part, because I would go with the quality part, because, you know, if someone purchases something from you because it's cheap and then they get bad quality, there's, you know, nothing you can do about it. That person's going to leave a bad review or never going to shop again. So I would go with trying out different things to see the quality first. If the quality matches and the shipment is the same speed, go with what is cheaper. I really don't understand the expensive question, especially when we're talking about a range of products that can be sold in various prices. I don't know if you guys have seen the video I did with Artist Kristy about the Awkward Styles wall art, but as I mentioned in that video, a lot of people talk about, oh, this is $1 more, so people won't buy it. This t-shirt is 50 cents more. Come on, I wouldn't even look at prices of wall art. If Kristy's selling her art, dude, she's selling her art for so much money. Sorry for the dude part, it's kind of in me. But she's selling her art for a lot of money because that's how she values her art. So it also depends on how much you value your products and how much you want to sell them for. And also a video that I would recommend watching if you want to watch and have a look at a bunch of product reviews because you can't afford to order yourself, other than the huge product review playlist that I have here. I also did a video with Kittl, it was Coffee with Kittl, and I went over, I don't know, 50 different products at the same video, and also talked again about quality control and the expensive question. And I hope that that video will help you out. I will leave a link to the Kittl video down below. And thank you, Wendy, for referring these people to my older videos. That was cute. Next up, we have Thor with, once you have an Etsy shop up, how do you get potential customers to become aware that your Etsy shop exists? I feel like this is the same as marketing, but not just the same. So I do want to answer that separately. But before I do that, I would like to kindly ask you guys that if you like this video and so far you found these questions and answers kind of useful, please let me know that by hitting the like button down below. Every time you click on the like button, the YouTube algorithm goes like, this is a cool video. I'm going to show it to more people so more people can get answers to their questions. And it also tells me that you like this sort of format of me answering questions. I'm thinking about doing it as a repetitive thing, maybe even doing it as a live. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments and like the video. Thank you. Getting back to Thor's question, once you have an Etsy shop, how do you get potential customers to become aware that your Etsy shop exists? I do have to say that this sort of takes me to an action plan, because if I was thinking about starting an Etsy shop for print on demand, for example, or any kind of shop, what I would do is I would start talking about it on social media before I'm actually doing it. And I would start like with a preview page or with coming soon. What I have right now with self-love journaling that I do on Instagram, I sort of experiment. I still did not open the YouTube channel for it, but I do have some products on Zazzle, so I sort of experiment with it on Instagram. So I would recommend starting out by trailering the fact that the shop is about to come, and that will be especially amazing if the shop has a specific audience that you can, I don't know, post jokes that this audience will understand, or preview some designs that are about to go up, and then just make a banner. We are open. Our Etsy shop is open. I would also recommend to combine that with a coupon code to celebrate the beginning of your store. That could be a good idea, and just do that on wherever your shop is marketing itself. So if you are having an Instagram account, a TikTok account, a YouTube, Facebook for that, definitely put that there. Not on Pinterest, because on Pinterest, I feel like things are not really chronological. So putting it out there is more like, I didn't launch my store, but the stuff exists. But again, going back to the marketing question, trying to understand what my audience is, like who my audience is, where do they hang out, and create a social media profile that they would want to follow. Again, I really recommend watching the Instagram trio series of marketing yourself as a brand, as a niche, or as an artist. Moving on to Anna Dreams Art. How do you keep track of it all? Which programs do you use for it? Like what you have in which stores, how much each store earns, folders with created mock-ups to post. I'm doing this on my head, not because you're asking me, because I'm doing it because you said that your disorganized brain is overwhelmed. Mine is too. I'm really bad at organizing. I have folders in my computer, like my Zazzle stores, and then in my Zazzle stores, I also have like a TeePublic, I also have like Society 6, and then I have new Society 6 art to upload, and then I already uploaded, and then I delete some because I need space on my computer, and then I use my Zazzle designs to upload to a different place, and I never, ever, ever keep track. What I am trying to do right now that I feel is really helping me out is to name my designs on my computer. So if I wanted to find a certain design that I did for TeePublic and I don't really remember that I did it for TeePublic, I wouldn't know to search for it in the TeePublic folder, but I will remember searching for it by its name. So I do try to write a name for each design that I have in order for me to be able to find it. I also found that it really helps me out when it comes to Zazzle, because sometimes when I create a lot of art, whether it's for TeePublic or just create something nice on Procreate, I will then upload it to Zazzle Media to just stay there until I find something to do with it. And having that file have a name actually helps me out. So my organization system is far from being perfect. I really do need to talk about it, I think, a bit more. And by talk about it, I mean with myself, to get more organized, especially now when I'm doing also KDP. So that's insane. But I do feel that naming the actual design file has been the first step of me getting organized. I'm sorry that I don't have like the best solution for you, but if you are completely disorganized, naming your files in a way that you will remember how to search for them could be crucial. I hope that one helped. And love your channel. You are awesome. Thank you. You're awesome too. Like, this channel is super personal for me, guys. So whenever you do comment these things, I want you to know that I genuinely become happy. A friend of mine asked me, I'm sorry for the drifting off, but a friend of mine asked me, like, what do I do on days where I'm like completely paralyzed, or if I wake up in the morning and I'm in so much pain? And I'm like, read YouTube comments. I know it's dumb. I sometimes forget to answer, and I really do need to spend like the next, I don't know, 3 weeks of my life just answering YouTube comments. But thank you so much. It really means like everything that you do to support the channel, whether it's comment, subscribe, like the videos, it really does impact me and makes me feel so loved. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. We are nearing the end with the last 3 questions. Beth Fratesi. Fratesi? It sounds really cool. I like that name. Beth Fratesi. What order should I do stuff in? Like, should I build up my inventory before worrying about marketing? Should I experiment with a narrow range of products to learn what designs sell well before expanding my offerings? I started out with wedding invitations. Oh, that one is a hard one just this year, and it was pretty overwhelming. I know. I never, ever, ever took the dive to that. I know. To have to stop doing it and jump into holiday stuff, which was a whole different set of rules. Okay, first of all, I wouldn't jump to holiday stuff. Like, if I had a very successful wedding invitation thing, I wouldn't even touch on the holiday stuff. I would only do like some holiday designs for the wedding invitation. So for example, a wedding invitation for a Halloween wedding, a wedding invitation for a Christmas wedding, which, by the way, you should always have on a wedding invitation store, because people plan these things like years and months in advance. And I do feel like when you're talking about holidays, I don't know, again, the platform that you're selling this on, but definitely several platforms make it easier to open a totally different store and focus on that. For example, Zazzle, where you can have multiple stores. In what order should you do stuff? I don't know if you watched the video about the goals. The one I did, not with my goals, but how to create your print-on-demand goals. There was a part there that I was talking about budget. And I was mentioning that if certain people are on a certain budget, for example, they can't afford a year of Kittl Pro or a year of Placeit, then they should take 1 month of Kittl Pro, do the designs, and then 1 month of Placeit to do the mockup, and in the rest of the time use to upload your designs onto platforms and start marketing them. I do think that regardless of a budgeting question, because I would keep a Kittl Pro membership all year long, as well as a Placeit one, as well as a Canva. But regardless of the budgeting part, I feel like this also creates some kind of organization in your head. So if you have, for example, you can take like 2-3 weeks to just create the designs and then try to upload one of them, because sometimes when we upload a design, we learn a little bit more about the platform. For example, when I started uploading to TeePublic, I learned that I love creating whitey designs, because then I can enable them on so many different t-shirts, because they do have so many different colors of things. Once you create that inventory, that initial inventory, what I would do is I would make sure that you have extra inventory that you didn't upload. So for example, if I would start now with TeePublic, what I would do is find my niche or my categories. I would make sure that I have 20 designs for each category, and then I would bulk upload like 6 to each category. And then every few days I would add more. I would try to do some sort of a bulk upload. And by bulk, I don't mean like 100. I mean like 20, not something that will trigger the system to think, oh, this is spam. I will try to take a day to like do 20, and then every few days I would add a product and then immediately market it, and add a product and immediately market it. I think I have TeePublic in mind because they do have that thing where every time you upload a product, it has a 72-hour discount on that product, which is really cool. So every time you create a design and upload it, you can literally market it for a discounted price for the next 72 hours. But when it comes to other things, if I have to look at myself, what I'm doing with my Zazzle shop, for example, is that I started uploading a bunch of stuff, and then I ordered some stuff, and then I changed some of the stuff that I ordered, and I'm uploading more and more, ordered more to test the products and also to take better photos of them, to be able to use them in my videos. And I literally started planning for this channel about 2 months in advance, and up until the point where I didn't have like a specific thing, I wasn't able to just run with it. I feel like I can talk about how you can organize your steps or in what order to do things for hours, but sometimes when we have like this idea because people are selling it or because I can design it, we can see the order of things in our head a little bit, and it gets kind of, I'm not really sure, maybe I should do this or that or this. It's kind of 70% sure what to do, but once we actually know what we want to sell, when we actually find a topic that we like, it's sort of everything kind of clicks in a way, because when you do something that you love, when you start selling a product you're passionate about, your mind will automatically go to how cool it will be to market it. And from planning the marketing aspect, you will know the steps you need to take beforehand. I hope that was helpful. If that wasn't helpful, can you elaborate more on what you want to sell or where you want to sell it on? And I'll be able to comment back and reply with a more targeted comment to you. Next up, one before last, are print-on-demand calendars worth selling in terms of price and quality? Thanks. What I am going to do now while reading this comment is I'm going to go to zazzle.co.uk because I have ordered a print-on-demand calendar and I don't know when it's about to come. My print-on-demand calendar is in the making process. Okay, I have no idea when it's going to come. The minute the print-on-demand calendar from Zazzle is going to come, I'm going to make a video about that. I feel like in a lot of cases, I have seen a lot of print-on-demand calendars before and I haven't really touched up on that topic so much. So like in this channel, I haven't really talked about them. I did have a video about printable calendars, which I think was rather dope. I actually made a bunch of printable calendars like 2 years ago and I sold them, and I don't know why I stopped. And I will leave a link to that video down below for the printable calendars for those of you who want to maximize some stuff with the printables scene. However, when I'm talking about print-on-demand calendars, I do know that when I was looking into the options with Zazzle, that was definitely a mind-blowing experience for me because their customization for their calendars is insane. People can order so many different types of calendar sizes while also saying the month it starts, the month it ends, and if they want like American holidays on it, Christian holidays, Jewish holidays. And people, when they order a calendar, they can also control or choose from the style that is not your art on the calendar, but the bottom part, like how the days are being displayed. So I do find that Zazzle calendars are the most inclusive one that I've seen in the market, and the ones that are targeted more for people to actually use them because they are super easy for buyers to customize. I do think that it's a cool product. I hope that I'm not going to get a complete pile of rubbish. Francesca's Fab Finds, who asked this question, the minute that I'm going to get my print-on-demand calendar, I'm going to make a video about that, and I hope that that will be helpful. Hopefully it will be in this month, if not in the beginning of November. Last, but definitely not least, Hope Grable or Gravel, I don't know how to pronounce it. This is a long one, which, by the way, guys, I like long comments. Is this adventure you're on your pursuit of your own happiness? Is all the work you're currently doing bringing you joy? I know you have your daily struggles and not every day is happy or joyful, but far from here. You look really happy. The authenticity that you bring to your vlogs and the truth that you share with us, especially on those difficult days, are more helpful to us than you might think. Not everyone knows what it truly means to pursue your own happiness, even in a country where it is a constitutional right. I'm guessing United States, because I'm not in there. What is your advice for figuring out what that is and how to stay on track on chasing after it? Sending you big hugs and lots of love. First of all, thank you. Big hugs and a lot of love back to you. And I'm going to break it down. Okay. Is this adventure on pursuit of your own happiness? Oh, I have a very difficult relationship with happiness because I started print on demand, passive income streams, YouTube, my other business where I was building websites for other people. I started them from a very simple reason. I was working in IT and media my whole life. Well, my adult life. I was making a lot of money, but I was very sick. And every year I was sicker and sicker and sicker until the point where I couldn't work, but I did have to pay a bunch of medical bills and, rent. So my first pursuit was not a pursuit of happiness. I don't even think it was a pursuit of money. It was a pursuit of being able to feed myself and put a roof over my head, which hasn't been easy. I don't know if you guys remember or if you know, but like I took this break in February, I think, or in March from YouTube for a little bit. And that's because being here in Bulgaria, first, I get my income from Social Security here, which is insane because in Israel, that amount of money that I make from Social Security is not enough to like feed yourself and buy medication. But here, the amount I make as a disabled person in Israel is 3 times minimum wage in this country, and it's completely livable. Not really livable for me because yes, I do have to pay loans that I took along the years, but that's an amount that can like liberate your mind. And once I moved here back in May of last year, I also got my Portuguese citizenship and passport around September and was able to make residency in Bulgaria, as well as continuously getting my income from my disability pension here in Bulgaria. So technically, I don't have to work at all. And at that point, it turned from I am working my ass off to be able to afford the basic of food. And my mindset was if I work harder, I'll be able to afford food, like the full food and medicine category. And that transformed into I am here, I am legally allowed to stay here, I will legally not be hungry. So everything I do is sort of a plus. And that transition to me, I think it was in January and February when I had a jump in my YouTube earnings. I had a jump in my print on demand sales because I was doing more print on demand because of this channel. I was exploring more, I was educating myself more, I got an iPad, I started doing Procreate, and that huge jump made me realize that I can actually have a future and happiness, which is something that I never thought about. And I don't know what brings me joy that much. I do know that a lot of things bring me like this immediate joy. I do know that a part of my reason for having a journaling print on demand shop and focusing on that and opening a channel to promote it is that my way of promoting it will be to actually journal, and I feel like I need it. So to answer your question, if this brings me happiness, I don't know yet. I'm excited to find out. I do know that a lot of the times people tell me like, we know it's not easy for you to film, but you always look so happy. First of all, I only film on days that I'm capable of sitting down, even if I have to sit down on this, which is so annoying. But I do have to say that I think that you guys underestimate yourselves in this process, because if I'm here and I'm in pain and I'm tired and I'm a bit cranky, because I already know the feedback that I'm going to get from you guys, it hypes me up so much that it brings me this energy. I mean, if you were to sit down right now and had to think about something to design or something to put up or something to create, and you're in a little bit of pain and you already have like 100 people telling you how cool you are, wouldn't that motivate you? So it does bring me joy. This channel, for example, I don't know if it brings me happiness. I do know that I think in print and creating a bunch of these art pieces like the llama and all that was kind of my shiny new thing syndrome, as well as my cubism art. I enjoyed making them for a while, but then it kind of stopped. I do find that the journaling thing is a lot more joyful for me. I don't even know what to answer next. I just really appreciate all of your questions. And to be frank and honest, my coccyx bone is killing me. So I will finish this video with telling you that you guys are awesome, your questions are awesome. Again, if any of you commented something that I asked you to elaborate on, feel free to elaborate on this in this video in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer back. But with that being said, I am going to do a serious amount of physical therapy at the moment. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. And as usual, I'll see you guys actually on the 13th of the month with the Kittl challenge video. And bye!